Hey guys, this is Samara from CoachingConsciousCreators.com. Today I want to talk to you guys about a question I got from one of my coaching clients. So she is in the process of reprogramming her subconscious mind. She's got some, childhood issues and things that have caused her to repeat negative patterns in her life. And she's trying to move beyond that, remove those limiting beliefs so that she can move into the type of life that she truly wants. And so that's what our coaching sessions are built around. So today she asked me the question, how do I deal with beating myself up about past choices that created unwanted situations? And there are a couple ways to do that. So I'm going to give you the strategies, and then I'm going to talk about the mindset that is required to prevent those types of thoughts from coming up, to prevent regret and guilt and all of those negative emotions that can come up when we start to look at how much better our life could have been if we made different decisions. So first, the two strategies. The strategy that I use now, because I've kind of mastered mindset, is to use revision. So revision is where you go back to an event in your past that you believe led to unwanted experiences, and you can journal or you can just imagine that they happened completely differently. I also call this the time travel method. The reason why this works is because of the way the human brain works. So memories aren't actually factual things that are stored in our minds. Every time we access a memory, we alter it to some degree. So it only exists as an imaginary act in our minds. So if it only exists as an imaginary act, and every time we revisit it, we can create it, if we go back and intentionally recreate it, we have the effect of rewiring our brains to look at the subsequent circumstances differently. So that's the basic explanation of how it works, but some of the results that people get are they completely reverse situations in miraculous ways by using this technique. It can seem silly at first until you understand that it actually works. So that's one way, but that requires already having shifted your mindset. If you haven't shifted your mindset yet, this is a technique I used to use, and it's called extracting the positives or the lessons. So what I used to do, because there's no way that we can know we've made a poor decision. I mean, sometimes we know ahead of time, but most of the time we're acting in what we believe is our own best interest at the time, right? So the only reason we feel regret is because we get further down the line and we say, oh, I should have done this differently. But in the moment, there's no way to see that. So extracting the lessons is a way to say, okay, I went through this, but it wasn't for nothing. It made me better. It caused me to break a family type of generational curse. It caused me to be in this circumstance. Like, for example, I have a broken relationship with my son's father, but I have my son, and he's amazing, and he has all the qualities that I loved in his father. Although that relationship didn't work, if I hadn't had that relationship, I wouldn't have my son. So that seems really cliche, but when you really let yourself forgive yourself and you look at all of the positive things, or you choose to focus on the positive things that came out of a situation, it relieves some of that pain. And the mindset shift that has to take place in order for you not to even need to do that anymore is, number one, believing that anything is possible. So for example, I've had a boatload of terrible relationships in my past, right? And I could choose to say, look at that and say, oh, there's something wrong with me, or I'll never have a good relationship. I can choose those thoughts. Or I can say, well, now that I know that I'm a master manifester, I can create anything that I want. Now that I understand how to reprogram my subconscious mind, I can put in any beliefs that I want that will automatically create wanted situations versus unwanted situations. So there's this overlay of understanding that you can create anything using your imagination, using techniques that help to reprogram the subconscious mind. So no matter what has happened in the past, anything is possible. If you truly believe that, like if you've experienced that enough times, if you've experienced Hail Marys in your life, if you've experienced things that you thought could never happen, if you've experienced sensations and feelings and, experiences that you thought were impossible at a certain time and place, then nothing in your past can make you feel as though you're limited or that there's something that you can't correct. So that's the mindset shift. And I think that takes experience with successful manifestations. It takes the universe showing you that what can happen is beyond what you could even imagine. Several times it took for me, because I'm stubborn. I think I know everything. I think I can figure everything out. So the universe has had to show me several times that there are no limits. No limits. That means even if, I've been sentenced to life in prison, for example, I can manifest being released. Like something that seems final is not final. And a lot of times guilt over past decisions comes from believing that the effects, from cause and effect, the effects of those decisions are permanent and there's nothing that we can do about them. And because we made those decisions, now we have to suffer. Well, the truth is we don't have to suffer for past decisions. We can completely forgive ourselves. We don't have to carry guilt. Guilt is a choice. Now, when it comes to, let's say there are people out there who feel like they've been done wrong. Guilt is useful to people who want to maintain control over others. So you may want someone to feel guilty for doing something to you. That's also pointless. Guilt is just unnecessary. It's a method for control. So trying to make others feel guilty is a way of getting them to do what you want, and it is a sign that you feel powerless. Like if you need somebody to feel guilty about something, it's because you feel powerless and you want to control their behavior so that they can't do what they did to you again. But if you understand that you are a powerful person and that you control your reality and that anything that's happened in the past can be remedied, you don't need others to feel guilty, and you don't need to feel guilty about anything. You understand that anything that is happening outside of you right now is a reflection of your current inner reality. And you can choose to release guilt. You can choose to forgive yourself. You can choose a new reality. And nothing that's happened in the past matters. It matters in that it gives you a picture. It gives you information about what it is you believe and what your inner experience is. But it is only for that. That's the only thing it really was designed to do, was give you information about what's going on inside of you. And once you have that information about what's going on inside of you, you can pivot in any direction. Like you can completely transform your life in any way you desire. And I talked about this in some of my other videos, but manifestation is not just about the things. So for example, now I'm a single parent because of my broken relationships, and that creates, or I used to believe that it created a lot of hardships in my life. Well, I'm not going to go back and do revision. I guess I could, theoretically. But I would never go back and do a revision that would remove my children from my life, right? Even though I could. It's pretty scary because there's stories about revision where people bring things back into their lives and remove things from their lives using revision. But instead of saying, I don't want to be a single parent, I can create a reality where being a single parent is easy, which is basically what I've done. I mean, it's not always easy. Of course, I run into difficulties, but again, that's just part of the human experience and giving me information about what's going on the inside. But relatively speaking, my life is not like the lives of a lot of other single parents. Like I don't fall into the stereotypes. There are a lot of things that I've been able to manifest in my life that make the whole experience not so hard and even preferable to some other situations. So what I'm saying is, when you look at your past and you realize that you made some decisions that created unwanted experiences for you, you are unlimited in the ways that you can transform that into something that you do desire, as long as you understand what those tools are. And just to recap, one tool is revision. Revision, you guys should look it up on other YouTube channels. I haven't done a detailed video on it, but there's so many stories out there about how revision miraculously changed situations. And then there's extracting the lessons understanding how what you experienced has given you information to make you a more powerful being, choosing to see how you've been made better by situations. Again, sounds cliche, but when you let yourself feel that and focus on that, it really does make a huge difference, and guilt can just fall away. Like, if you, the person that I'm coaching said, what do I do if I feel stupid about decisions I made in the past? You're stupid if you never realized that the decisions were your own responsibility. That's stupid. But understanding that you made a mistake and that there's something that you need to shift means you're not stupid automatically. It means that you are 10 steps ahead of most souls on this planet right now, because most people never take responsibility for the lives that they've created. So if you're at a place where you're watching this video and you're like, how do I get over how stupid I was? You're not stupid, because you are problem solving. You are learning how to take things that you've experienced and use them as stepping stones to get where you want to go. So let go of the guilt. Anything is possible. Believe that you are a creator. Believe that your imagination can provide you any experience that you desire, and just let it go. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you want to find out more about me, do an assessment, connect with me, leave me a comment below. Don't forget to like and share. And you can find me at coachingconsciouscreators.com. Thanks for watching.